Hello, 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 YouTube. How are you doing out there? As you can see, my table is a mess. Sorry, allergies are starting to kick in. It is mid-April, and my allergies have been going absolutely bonkers lately. So if I sound a little coarse than usual, that is why. Now, my problem that I've been having is that I have a Bigsby equipped guitar. And I like Bigsby's. I have no issue with Bigsby's. I used to own a Gretsch. Now it's a Epiphone Rivera P93, so it's got 3 P90s in it, stuff like that. But a couple things that I have been running into is that obviously with the Bigsby, there is some tuning stability issues when you are using the Bigsby. When the Bigsby is not being used, typically you don't have any tuning stability issues. Now, why does this matter? You probably read the title and it says, I haven't exactly picked the name the 100%, but you're probably reading the title and saying something like locking tuners, do you actually need them versus non-locking tuners? Well, I'll get to that in about 2 seconds. A couple things I like doing with I hate to use the word trem because technically it's not a trem, but floating bridge type systems, whether it's a Stratocaster, Bigsby, something of that nature, is they like to put on normal tuners. And there are advantages to normal tuners. They're a lot lighter. I mean, if you could feel the difference between these two, this is a lot lighter. So if you have a guitar that has neck dive issues, a lighter tuner obviously will be nicer. A lot of times, non-locking tuners, there's less mechanism to it, so you don't have to worry about pins or screws or things falling out. I know with the Shaler, or Schaller, can't remember. No, it wasn't a Schaller. It was the Spurzl. I'm sorry. With the Spurzl, if you actually loosen this up all the way, it will keep coming out, and there's a pin inside that will actually fall right out. With the Godos, you don't have that. That's why I like the Godo locking tuners. But there are obviously some advantages to locking tuners. Now, in my opinion, if you have a hardtail guitar, okay, a standard traditional tuner is fine. It is perfectly fine. There's really no reason to upgrade, or I wouldn't even call it an upgrade, but to put in a locking tuner. Locking tuners do offer some good benefits. One benefit is that obviously they are faster to string change because you loosen this up. You put the string in, just like that, and then you tighten down the string, and that's it. See? It's not coming out. So that is, and then when you want to undo it, you just pull it out, and that's it. There are some good advantages to that. Not having a bunch of winds, especially if you're a touring musician or if you find that you really don't like to change your strings and you really just want to get in and get out, that's a good thing. Now, another thing that I want to demonstrate is why locking tuners are also good and why they are good for floating style systems. Now, typically when you have a locking tuner, you have it kind of like this, not even one wrap, right? Well, when you go ahead and use your locking system or your trem floating system, and I'm going to exaggerate this for the camera, but what it's actually doing is it moves the string like this, and it moves the string back, and it moves the string like this, and it moves the string back. Now, with the locking tuner, there's only one point. That's it. You don't have to worry about, is it going to go out of tune because it's only holding one point. Whereas with a traditional tuner, and I will quickly try to demonstrate this on camera. I'm trying to make this just a quick video. I don't want to bore you guys with too much information. If you have, say, 2 to 3 wraps like that, now let's do the same thing. So I'm going to hold it on this side as much as I can. Now all of a sudden, if you let it go, all the wraps, see how Watch. I'll see if I can re-demonstrate that a little bit closer. Watch. So I'm holding it tight right now. Okay. Now I'm gonna loosen it up, acting like my floating trem system, whatever you want to call it, or my bigsby has moved. Okay. So my bigsby is now moving. You see how every single strand it has moved, and then I pull it back. That right there is going to make the world of a difference when you have a bigsby type system or a trem system or whatever type system that you are looking to get. That will make the difference of staying in tune versus not staying in tune. So when it comes to locking tuners, some people ask me, oh, should I get locking tuners? Or if I'm on different, forums or whatever, people are like, oh, I need to get an upgrade of locking tuners. It's like, well, you know what? Do you have a trem type system or a bigsby or something of that nature? No. Okay. Well, if you don't have that, then you don't technically need locking tuners. When you have a bigsby or you have a floating system, locking tuners are such a help and improvement. Also, another huge improvement is a roller bridge where it has these roller saddles that will hold your strings versus other type systems where they actually oh, here it is. I was looking for it. It was right in the corner. If you see, they are not sharp, but they're not exactly round. And the string as it sits on here, the string will, there we go. As it moves, the string, let's see if we can hear it. And I'm trying to exaggerate the sound, but the string will rub in there. So a roller bridge type system where they have these nice rollers will also help improve your tuning stability. But one of the biggest things of should you or should you not get locking tuners, the answer is it depends on your situation. If you like the fast changing strings, or maybe your guitar in general has a hard time staying in tune, locking tuners may be a help or a benefit. If you have a floating type system, a Stratocaster, something with a bigsby, even maybe a B bender to an extent, maybe a locking tuner might help you. I know on my Strat I have locking tuners, but obviously with the Strat you don't have to get a rolling bridge. But with my Epiphone, I don't have, the locking bridge or the roller bridge and locking tuners are going to tremendously help the tuning stability of that guitar and allow me to actually use the bigsby again. So what are some brands of locking tuners I like? I like Hipshot. Hipshot makes a great locking tuner. Godo are absolutely phenomenal, great in price. Grover makes a really good one as well. Godos, I think you can get a whole set of these for under $100, which is absolutely amazing. And that's what I would normally recommend. Now, be warned. See the size difference? I don't know if you could tell the size difference. I am going to have to drill out my headstock. So be warned. If you don't want to drill out your headstock or you're not comfortable with it, then maybe you might not look into locking tuners, or there are some locking tuners that are closer in style to this, but honestly, I like the Godo mechanisms. I like the gear ratio. I think this is either an 18-to-1 or a 19-to-1. That means for every one turn you do, it moves 19 or 18 or 19 gears. And I should say one by doing it all the way around. But so I like the gear ratio that the Godo offer. I like the locking mechanism. I'm very familiar with the Godos. And they're made incredibly well. They're made in Japan. They're not made out of improper cheap material. So those are some locking tuners I really like. And yeah, it really depends on your situation if a locking tuner will help you. In my situation, it will. I will have to do some drilling, like I said. I'm okay with that, but you might not be. So have that in mind, okay? Anyways, just want to make a quick little video of how if locking tuners are for you, and give a little backup of maybe what you could use locking tuners for and how it could help. Take care, guys. Bye.